League of Legends is more complicated right now than it has ever been, with over 160 champions, thousands of item combinations, and community that has been optimizing this game for over a decade. Jumping in today feels like trying to learn a new language while people are throwing bricks at your head. If you try to learn everything at once, you will burn out, get flamed by your teammates, and uninstall the game within a week. You don't need to know everything, you just need to know the right things. Hello everyone, I am Lex, professional League of Legends player, and today I'm starting a new League Fundamental series, and this is episode 1. It's about 10 things I would learn in League of Legends if I started in 2026. If I lost all my accounts today and had to start completely fresh, I wouldn't waste time chasing temporary broken builds or memorizing every champion combo. Instead, I would focus entirely on 10 foundational skills. Master these 10 and you will bypass 90% of the player base. Let's build your foundation. The 3 champion rule. The first thing I would do is to limit my active champion pool to exactly 3 champions. The biggest mistake a new player is making is playing 10 different characters in a single week. When your champion changes every game, your brain has to constantly calculate basic physics like your attack range and spell animations, combos, etc. By locking yourself down to just 3 simple champions, the mechanics become muscle memory within 20 games. Once you don't have to think about your inputs, your brain is freed up to actually look at the map and learn how the game flows. The second rule is to unlock your camera on day 1. Playing with a locked camera is like driving a car with a black blanket over your windshield, looking only at the dashboard. You are completely blind to incoming threats and long-range teamfights. It will feel dizzying and uncomfortable for the first 3 days. Use your spacebar constantly to bring the camera back to your champion when you get lost. Force through the discomfort early, because breaking a locked camera habit later is a completely nightmare. The minimap glance routine. Next, I will train myself to look at minimap every single time I secure a minion lasted. Think of the minimap like your rear view mirror while driving. If you only look at it once every 2 minutes, you are going to crash. The moment a minion dies and you collect the gold, glance down at bottom right. Is the enemy jungler showing top lane? Is your mid laner missing? If you build this muscle memory early, you become completely immune to basic enemy ganks. Number 4 is a mental health and concentration cheat code. Turn off text chat in your settings. Let's be honest, nobody in lower tiers has anything useful or strategic to type in the chat box. It is almost exclusively used for toxic typing, flaming and pointing fingers. Chatting drains your mental energy and distracts you from the actual game state. Keep your pings enabled for communication, but mute the text. Protect your focus. Number 5 is understanding the true math of League of Legends. Creep score over kills. New players treat this game like a team deathmatch, chasing kills across the map, but mathematically, roughly 15 last hits gives you exact same amount of gold as a standard player kill. Kills are volatile and risky. Farming minions is completely safe, reliable and predictable. If you learn how to farm efficiently while your opponent wastes time roaming blindly, you will be an entire item ahead of them without fighting once. Number 6 is playing around windows of vulnerability. Every champion has a cornerstone ability, a spell that makes them terrifying. Think of a Blitzcrank hook or Morgana root. The moment the enemy misses or wastes the ability, they are completely defenseless for the next 10 to 20 seconds. I would train myself to recognize these wasted cooldowns and immediately step up to punish them, rather than playing passively out of fear. Obviously, tracking flashes or ultimate cooldowns are much easier than this, but I would focus on these also basic abilities to track, because they are most of the time even more important than tracking ultimate or flash cooldowns in a teamfights. Number 7 is to knowing when to go home. Recalling at a terrible time can cost you more gold and experience than actual death. If you recall while a massive wave of enemy minions is crashing into your tower, you are actively flushing your resources down to the toilet. Always push your minion wave all the way to the enemy side before recalling. This creates a safety buffer that ensures you lose absolutely nothing while you buy your items. Value of vision. Number 8 is mastering the basics of vision control. Wards are not optional accessories, they are legal map hacks. But don't just drop your wards randomly because the game tells you to. Place your vision in choke points, where the enemy jungler must pass to get to you. Seeing an enemy approaching 5 seconds early changes a guaranteed death into completely safe retreat. Information is the power. Number 9 is fundamental macro concept called priority. If your minion wave is pushed under the enemy tower, you have priority. This means if a fight breaks out in the river or in the jungle, right now you can leave your lane and help your team with it. Your opponent cannot follow you without losing all their minion gold under tower. Learning who has prio tells you exactly when you can fight and when you must play safe. This concept of priority is very important for also junglers, because when you wanna make a plan of invading enemy jungle camps or take a fight in river, you must look at your lanes first. If they have prio, you have an advantage. If they don't have prio, then you need to make another plan on the other side of the map. This is also really important for laners. When you have prio, you can force your jungle to be more aggressive, or you can take cheater recalls, etc, etc. Reviews over spamming. Finally, number 10 is ultimate growth accelerator. Review your mistakes instead of just spamming more games. If you play 10 games a day while tilted and frustrated, you are just reinforcing your bad habits. Instead, play 3 games, 5 games, open up your match replay and look objectively at every single time you died. Don't blame your team. Ask yourself, what could I have done differently to avoid this death? Fixing one bad habit per day will make you climb faster than playing 50 mindless games. Learning League of Legends isn't about mechanical genius, it's about building consistent, smart habits. Implement these 10 rules and your improvement rate will explode. Now remember rule number 1. You need a tight, effective 3 champion pool to make all of this work. But which champions should you actually choose? In our next video, we are breaking down the best champions for new players in each role, specifically designed for fundamentals instead of focusing too much mechanics. Hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss the rest of the series. Comment down below which of the tips that you like the most, and I will see you next time.